do I have a treat for you today. I just got in the Earth Oracle and I'm obsessed. Last week, I saw this listing pop up on my Etsy homepage, and it was one of those where you go, this kind of looks familiar, but I'm not really sure. So you open the listing, and when I saw a couple of the pictures, I was like, yeah, no, I haven't seen this at all before, and I instantly ordered it. And then I discovered that there doesn't seem to be any content with this deck on YouTube, at least under the deck's title and the deck creator's name. So I thought, let me get on here and show the cards, so if you're interested, it's no longer a mystery for you. Now, I instantly bought this because it has that broccoli deck vibe to it. It has the clean borders and with vintage paintings and imagery collage style. So it's definitely right up my alley. I will not be going through every single detail on this. This is purely to look at the artwork, see all of the cards and the keywords, and I will just give some of my thoughts. I have flipped through this once before, just so I could get a grasp on what we will be looking at and what I will be talking about. So let's look at the cards. So quickly with the box, it is a tuck box. It's a rather large size. It is on the thinner side, and it has a sticker that I cut open already. And what comes in there is a bag with the book and the cards inside all of that. There's 48 cards and a fully written guidebook here. So here's a quick look. Get a little bit of front info and then a decent sized paragraph for all the rest of the cards. The cardstock is on the thinner side, so if you're someone that sort of clues in to cardstock thick or thinness, this might feel, depending on which way you swing, this might feel either perfect or too thin. I think it's fine. It is on the thinner side though, so I just wanted to call that out, but flexible and bendy still. So you see what I mean about the broccoli vibes. Here are the backs. And we will just go ahead and flip through these. Feel free to mute me and put me on 2x speed to just look through the cards. Otherwise, hang out with me while I chat artwork. So you could see my draw to this deck. It has that clean collage style. We have cutouts on top of backgrounds and some other bits and bobs here and there. The collage work is very clean. Some of the cards, I think maybe are just vintage paintings or illustrations edited in terms of retouching and just making it like cleaner, clearer, brighter and placed as a card. While others, I think there are mixing and matching of image sources. So you can see this is something that's like one big cutout on a solid background. I love that style, and this deck overall feels like a giant mood board. I don't know if you're someone that enjoys or enjoyed putting mood boards together. Obviously, because of my job, that is something I have done, but I do enjoy that as well. It's like, you know, a giant Pinterest board if you want to make it all aesthetic. And that gives me this kind of vibe. You're building this world through curated images, some graphics you've made, and I can really relate to putting together a body of images in that way. On my first flip through of this, I really liked the keywords. Some of them I feel like I have maybe another deck or two that use the keyword as well, but the imagery really speaks to me, so that is the main purpose of why I got this. I certainly feel like there was a lot of intentional image and photo editing happening in this artwork, and I can really appreciate that. All of the tones, the colors, the saturations, the contrast feel very cohesive and unified, and it makes for this really clean, clear direction for the world that this deck lives in. I love a crisp image in the background and a strong single image focal point. It has this mix and match of, see, this feels like perhaps it was just a vintage photo and maybe the background color was changed to a solid. So it has this mix of like some collage elements. This one feels more of a collage-y card, some edited photography, some collage that feels a little less layered collage than others. You know, you'll see as we go through. But as I was saying about the keywords, I thought they felt fresh. I thought they felt a little different. Something that my other decks maybe don't offer in terms of the selected keywords. It just has a really good vibe. It reminds me closest to the seashell oracle from Broccoli, but still it has its own thing. It's doing its own vibe here. So if I said at the beginning, if you are a Broccoli fan, definitely pick this deck up. I'm loving it. I don't know what I'll pair with it yet. I just wanted to get on here really quick and show the cards. So if this is something that you're curious about, you no longer have to be curious. So for this image, for example, it feels like there was a antique painting and then the ducks were photoshopped in. And I love how it looks purposeful. It looks like the image was meant to be. It looks like it started this way. You know, the duck is in the water here. The other foot is reaching the shore. It isn't all just one flat image slapped on a background like this, which I love though, you know, but it mixes it up really, really well. It brings in photography elements, more illustration elements, and it has a really great balance. I think it has a great design. It's very clean. Here, for example, I have this lobster imagery saved in my library, so that's why I'm like, I know for sure this is a cutout on top of a painting. Love it. Seals feel purposeful here. These seals are most definitely added. I'm going to say they are. I could be wrong though, but it's integrated into the painting. Sometimes it can seem like digital work is easier or faster or less complicated. And sometimes it can be easier, and sometimes it can be faster, and sometimes it can be less complicated. But to just get images from different sources to be cohesive and fluid and look like they were purposeful and always meant to be, it takes some legwork in Photoshop. And I just think that it gets discredited sometimes when it's actually a skill. See, these two elephants are placed in on the illustration background. So it's a cool mix. I'm loving it. I feel like I'm going to discover more and more as I use it. Obviously, this is just my second flip through, so I'm still intaking the imagery myself here. You'll have to let me know what you think of the artwork and the keywords so far. Now, this one feels like it could live in the mushroom oracle from Broccoli, right? It has that color palette, it has that wooded theme, that fall, earthy theme. I think this does a good balance of the different areas of Earth. We've seen land, sky, water, and different facets of that as well. Now, I think this one's the first one I've seen where there's these shape cutouts with a different photo in it. Okay. I feel like the other ones are a bit more composited in, which when you composite in Photoshop, that's like you're making it look realistic. Even though like it maybe isn't realistic, but just like that card before where we were talking about the ducks and how the one leg was in the water and the other one was on the rocky shore. Like that would be like a very minor lift of compositing. You're making it look realistic. You're making it look in perspective. You're tricking the eye to thinking it's one cohesive thing. Like this could perhaps be like 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, 4 pieces, right? I'm very interested. Like where this one's clearly 2 pieces. We have the cutout on the top and the painting in the background. And this one seems like it's maybe just the painting. I like the mix and match of it though. I feel like there's enough. So far, only that one that uses the cutout shapes with a photo in it has been the only one that stood out as, I haven't seen you do that before. I love this one. I love this card. This could be 2 paintings. It also could be 1. And I'm not saying that as a good or a bad way. I'm just trying to digest and dissect the artwork a little bit for you. I love a bug in an oracle card. See, now this one's like, could it have been just a standard vintage illustration? Or was the Northern Lights sky added in and then some photoshopping to have that color and reflection down in this other piece? I don't know. Oh my gosh, I've been making this messy pile here. But yeah, overall, I'm super happy with this. I'm loving it. See, now this one, there is a series of paintings, and I think the Seashell Oracle does use maybe 1 or 2 of them, where the actual painting is a background, and then there's these florals in the super tight foreground that are big and bold and colorful, and some sort of just like live placed on top in the center too. So this might be one of those, but maybe not. But it looks very realistic like it was, and that's what I'm really drawn to this. I'm gonna say it for like a 3rd time. It feels effortless in its combinations. And the last card, 48 cards. You know, I'm a broccoli deck fan, even when I have some critiques with the artwork. We all have opinions, right? And I still love those decks dearly, so it is by no means me saying anything negative. This one is right up there with it. I'm obsessed. I am. I love this. I like the way it speaks to me. I like the combination of the images. I like what was selected. I like how they were edited. It feels different enough. It lives in that lane, but it's its own thing. And so if you're feeling this, go for it for sure. Well, I am definitely pleasantly surprised at this deck. I really didn't know what to expect with it because I couldn't find anything out there. And I'm so glad I took the chance on this. It's one of those where it just feels right for me. It meets what I look for. It meets my needs. It meets my aesthetics, and I think it will have an amazing opportunity to pair with so many of my decks. You'll have to let me know what you would pair with this. I don't know, nothing's like 100% jumping out at my mind right now. And I feel like I pair the broccoli decks with a lot of different things, but they still have a certain sort of deck they go with, right? Where this one might open up a little bit more lanes just because the artwork does feel a bit more one piece versus, you know, all the cutouts and all the different image sources and stuff. It starts to feel a little busier. This feels a bit less busier, but there still feels like as much visual information in the card still, which I think that's a really interesting balance. And I think that's what I'm being drawn to is the level of design decisions that were made with this. Well, anyways, I hope you found this helpful. If you have this deck, do let me know. If you're going to pick it up, also please let me know. But yeah, until next time, I just wanted to get this up here for you all to check out. Until next time, I will catch you around. Bye.